Hey guys, this is Chris with Team Lavender, and I'm here with Aidan. What'd you just do?
Yesterday I got third at the Portland, Maine Regional.
Alright, let's see what you did.
Alright, I was playing Mekk-Knight Invoked. So to start off, I was playing 3 Alistair. It's pretty standard. I was playing 3 purple Mekk-Knight, 3 of the blue, 1 indigo and 1 red. Usually people aren't playing the red and are sometimes even like wanting to cut indigo, but you need indigo to search off of. I played the red because I also played 2 Gamma Steel, and when you go second and have Gamma Steel, most of the time you can get the blue search off for 2, so you can get the extras. So more than once I can search 2. Hand traps, I ran 9. I ran 3 Ash, 3 Ogre, and 3 Droll. I was originally running Valor, but I thought that Draco was going to be more present at the regional, so I wanted to get something that would combat that better, and Valor did nothing. But Droll was really good all day. I didn't play any Draco, but Droll ended up being good in all the matchups anyway. For the spells, I played 3 Terraforming, 3 more Alistair the field spell, 3 Invocation. It's really nice drawing or having 3 because you can just hard draw it. So you can use Alistair as a bait card, so you can normal summon it, they negate it with like Vortex, and then you just drop the Invocation and clear their board. 3 Pot of Desires. Pot of Desires is like the best card all day. I wanted to make sure I always had one in hand because all these cards basically get you like +1 at advantage, and I wanted more cards that did that. So even if I drew like another one later that game, I would still resolve it, and it would work out. Like I don't think any games I managed anything that I needed like later in the game. Triple Mind Control. This card is insane. I don't know why they put it back to 3. It is gross. It's just so good to set up like a Mekk-Knight, and then you just take their stuff and then link off. It's like amazing. It also just like outs like Tornado, Vortex, all that stuff that you need to out. Triple Scapegoat. This card is also insane and should be hit. Every time I resolved it, I won. My last round, I had one, and then I desired and did 2 more. But I mean, I didn't need it, but it was just nice to know I had it. But it was actually insane all day. It's just really nice to go into Scapegoat, and Alistair can make, it can either make Saryuja, or you can make Ib, Ningrisu, and then have 3 extra zones open for extra deck plays. The last 2 cards, this was 40, but I added 2 extra cards to make it 42, which was Forbidden Chalice. I originally had Called from the Grave, or Called by the Grave, how you call it, in there, but I realized going second it doesn't really do anything. But Chalice really outs Fossil Dyna and can out some problem cards that you need. It's basically Valor, but only like you have to set it. But it helps a lot actually. It was really good all day. I enjoyed it. It also works in the damage step, which is helpful.
Alright, let's see that extra deck.
Yeah. Alright, I played Proxy, Underclock, Decode, Saryuja, Borload. And then I played the cards I play because I play Scapegoat, which is Link Spider, Link Kuriboh, Ningrisu, and Ib. I took out Mrs. Radiant because I realized that it really only was good for like pushing for big damage, but with Scapegoat you can already push for big damage. Like with Scapegoat by itself and you make misses, you can only push for 39, but I feel like in this deck you can push for so much more. So it's not really needed. And you can also make Borload with Proxy, Link Spider, and Link Kuriboh, so it really doesn't matter, and you don't need it. I didn't miss it at all yesterday. I put in the Mekk-Knight link because a lot of times if you play against True Draco and you just make this, they really have a hard time getting over it because it can't be targeted or destroyed, and it can also attack directly. So they have to attack over it, but half the time they're not strong enough to do it. So I didn't play any Draco, but I had it there just in case I needed it. For the fusions, I played 2 Mekaba. I never needed a 3rd, but I might going forward. 2 Purgatrio. This is normally just my stepping stone, so like if I needed to make, I would use it for the board wipe, but I used the second one to make it and then go in Underclock and then fuse again for Mekaba. So the second one could have really been anything, but it was in case I actually needed a second board wipe. Second one did come up sometimes though. And then the card I did not summon all day was Raisin. When I put Droll in my deck, I decided to put Raisin in case I needed it. or if I got drolled and then I needed to make a fusion. But there were no good times where I had droll or I had droll engrave and I wanted to make it and it would actually help me. So I don't know if I'm going to run this going forward. It really didn't do anything. I took it out for Elysium, and there was one time where Elysium would have come up. I won anyway, but it would have made it a lot easier.
Alright, let's see that side deck now.
Alright. My side deck is 3 Reaper, and I'm bad and I side the extra deck card. Well, because with Scapegoat, it's so hard to find spaces to put in Reaper targets. You could argue that this could be Electromite, but again, like, Pendulum is like the best deck, but it's harder to, like, not a lot of people are playing it, especially at a regional level. So I didn't want to put this in there and commit to a main deck, a main extra deck slot when I wouldn't actually be seeing a lot. I played 2 yesterday, only 2, and I lost to 1 and then beat 1. But this was definitely helpful in beating them. So I sided these 4. I would keep siding them. 3 Lancia. This card is insane in the mirror. I played 1 mirror yesterday and I 2-0'd because it was literally just Lancia. Oh no, I didn't draw Lancia, but if I had, it would have been game. It's just like you activate it and then they literally can't do any of their Mekk-Knights, they can't do any of their invocation, and if you activate it, change it to the invocation, they have to either use an Alistair from their hand or show you that they don't have any Alistair in their hand. So it gives you basically free knowledge of all their hand, so you can start playing around hand traps, because in the mirror it's all hand traps. So this is like a really good card for knowledge. Regeki Dark Hole. I just played these because it's a regional and people are not as great as on a higher level, and it's just easy to board wipe people and then make a simplified game state where you can just win easier. I think I sided them in once, and when I drew them I never needed them, but it was nice to know that they were there, especially for a True Draco. 3 Twin Twister. This was for Trickstar and True Draco. It's really good against Trickstar because if you go second, well, which you want to do, they're gonna reincarnation you, and you can chain it and discard the invocation, and then your Alistair gets banished, and then you can put invocation back to add back Alistair. So it's kind of like a way to get around the fact that you're going to be banishing your Alistairs and invocations because you're putting the invocation in grave. And then 3 Barrier. This is for when you know that Mekk-Knight's going to make you go first, or if Pendulum's going to make you go first. Even going second, this isn't bad against Pendulum, but that's really the only times I want to side it in. And
Alright, well, congrats on the top.
Thank you.
Is there anything else you'd want to change with the deck, or do you think it was good as is?
I think it was good. The Chalice was a new change, so I want to see how that works more and see if there's any way to cut it down to 40. But yeah.
Well, again, congratulations.
All right, thanks.
This is Team Lavender signing out.